To know God's work in these times is, for the most part, to know God incarnate of the last days, what His principal ministry is, and what He has come to do on earth. I have previously mentioned in my words that God has come to earth during the last days to set an exemplar before departing. How does God set this exemplar? By speaking words, by working and speaking throughout the land. This is God's work during the last days. He only speaks so that the earth becomes a world of words, so that every person is provided for and enlightened by His words, and so that man's spirit is awakened, and he is clear about the visions. During the last days, God incarnate has come to earth chiefly in order to speak words. When Jesus came, He spread the gospel of the kingdom of heaven and accomplished the work of redemption of the crucifixion. He brought an end to the age of law and abolished all the old things. The arrival of Jesus ended the age of law and ushered in the age of grace. The arrival of God incarnate of the last days has brought an end to the age of grace. He has come chiefly to speak His words, to use words to make man perfect, to illuminate and enlighten man, and to remove the place of the vague God within man's heart. This is not the stage of work that Jesus did when He came. When Jesus came, He performed many miracles. He healed and cast out demons, and He did the work of redemption of the crucifixion. As a consequence, in His conceptions, man believes that this is how God should be. For when Jesus came, He did not do the work of removing the image of the vague God from man's heart. When He came, He was crucified. He healed and cast out demons, and He spread the gospel of the kingdom of heaven. In one regard, the incarnation of God during the last days removes the place held by the vague God in the conceptions of man, so that there is no longer the image of the vague God in man's heart. Using His actual words and actual work, He moves across all lands, and the work He does among man is exceptionally real and normal, such that man comes to know the reality of God, and the vague God loses his place in man's heart. In another regard, God uses the words spoken by His flesh to make man complete and accomplish all things. This is the work that God will accomplish during the last days. What you must know. 1. The work of God is not supernatural, and you should not harbor conceptions about it. 2. You must understand the principal work that God incarnate has come to do this time. He has not come to heal, or to cast out demons, or to perform miracles, and He has not come to spread the gospel of repentance, or to grant man salvation. That is because Jesus has already done this work, and God does not repeat the same work. Today, God has come to bring an end to the age of grace and cast out all the practices of the age of grace. The practical God has come chiefly to show that He is real. When Jesus came, He spoke few words. He primarily displayed miracles, performed signs and wonders, and healed and cast out demons, or else he spoke prophecies in order to convince man and to make man see that he really was God and was a dispassionate God. Ultimately, he completed the work of crucifixion. The God of today does not display signs and wonders, nor does he heal and cast out demons. When Jesus came, the work he did represented one part of God. But this time, God has come to do the stage of work that is due. For God does not repeat the same work. He is the God that is always new and never old. And so all that you see today is the words and work of the practical God.
Incarnate God of the last days, ends the age of grace and speaks words which perfect and enlighten, words which rid vague notions of God from the heart of man. Jesus walked on a path that was different. He did miracles and healed the sick,
preached the gospel of the kingdom of heaven, and was crucified to redeem all people.
So man conceived a notion that this is how God will always be. God, incarnate of the last days, fulfills and reveals all with words. In his words you see what he is. In his words you see that he is God. Incarnate God.